On April 6, 1917, somewhere in the French countryside, two young British soldiers, Lance Corporals Tom Blake and Will Schofield, are selected for a mission to deliver a message to Colonel Mackenzie of the 2nd Battalion of the Devonshire Regiment. General Aaron Moore briefs the duo on the mission, citing that an aerial surveillance discovered the German army retreating from a part of the Western Front located in northern France. But it turns out the enemy is not in retreat, but has instead conducted a strategic pullback to the new Hindenburg Line, where they are preparing to overwhelm the British with artillery. All efforts to warn them proved futile since the enemy cut all their telephone lines. The two soldiers are to cross enemy lines and deliver the message to stop the attack, fearing that it would put the lives of 1,600 soldiers, including Tom's brother, Lieutenant Joseph Blake, in danger. Tom is eager to go, but Schofield is hesitant. But orders are orders, so the two set off immediately. On their way, Schofield tries to talk to Tom, explaining they need to wait till sunset, but Tom is adamant. They make their way through the maze-like British trenches and emerge into no man's land. There, they meet Lieutenant Leslie, and after reading their orders, he cynically mocks the situation, making it clear that he thinks it's a suicide mission, further intensifying the situation. They keep moving, trying to stay low. The place is so wrecked with dead soldiers scattered everywhere. Schofield cuts his hand trying to get through some barbed wire, but eventually frees himself. The duo moves forward and hears a distant engine rumble. They both look up, and sure enough, a German plane comes screaming across the sky. They run and hide fast in a foxhole, avoiding the enemy's sight. They find an abandoned German trench, eerily quiet. Schofield leads the way through a dark tunnel into a bunker. They locate a booby-trap tripwire, which is soon detonated by a rat, exploding the tunnel and nearly burying Schofield alive. Tom digs him out, and the two of them make it out alive. Outside, Schofield berates Tom, but the latter cites that he never knew the intensity of the situation. They reach a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere and try to investigate it, but find the place empty. Schofield tries to fill his can with milk, but suddenly, a German plane crashes nearby. Tom rushes to pull the pilot from the burning wreck, but the pilot thanks him by stabbing him in the stomach. Schofield shoots the pilot and tries to stop Tom's bleeding, but it's too late. As he dies, Tom pleads with Schofield to finish the mission and find his brother. Schofield promises, and with that, he's left alone without backup, without a map, and without any idea of what dangers lie ahead. Schofield finds a convoy of British soldiers and hitches a ride, but the truck gets stuck in mud shortly after. He forces the soldiers to get down and help get the car running again. The soldiers drop him off in the middle of the road because the vehicles are unable to cross the canal due to a bridge that was demolished. Before Schofield leaves, one of the other officers in the company, Captain Smith, gives Schofield a heads up that Colonel Mackenzie is the type of person who would rather fight than obey orders. The other soldiers wish him luck before he leaves on foot again. He eventually reaches a ruined bridge where German snipers are still active. The sniper shoots at him, prompting him to take cover. He wounds the assailant and heads to his location to finish him, but is shot after opening the door. He kills the sniper, but falls unconscious down a flight of stairs. He wakes up hours later, alone in the ruins. Soon, Schofield is spotted by a German soldier and is forced into a tense chase through the ruins. He desperately runs for his life, narrowly escaping bullets as he sprints through the crumbling town. Dazed and bleeding, he stumbles into a basement where a young French woman is hiding with a baby. He gives the baby the milk he collected earlier at the farm and makes the woman tend to his wounds. She gives Schofield directions and pleads with him to stay, but he leaves anyway. Schofield finds a German soldier and tries to reason with him, but the latter makes noise, making more German soldiers come into contact with him. He ends up choking one of them and shoving past another who is drunk. He manages to get away while being pursued by soldiers and relentless gunfire. As dawn breaks, he runs toward the river, dives in, and gets swept away by the current, surrounded by dead bodies. Climbing out of the river, he hears singing and realizes a group of British soldiers resting nearby and preparing to move out. He asks them where the Devonshire Regiment is and realizes he is just with them. He asks why they are not fighting, and the soldiers tell him the first wave has been sent and that they are the second wave preparing to advance. Shocked, Schofield sprints again through a packed trench, shouting to deliver the order, but no one listens to him. As soon as he realizes that the trenches are too congested for him to reach Mackenzie in time, He desperately climbs up and runs across the battlefield, with explosions ripping the earth around him. Soldiers charge out of the trenches as Schofield pushes through. He finally reaches Colonel Mackenzie just as the first wave is about to charge. Some of the guards refuse to let him in, but he throws them aside and heads inside. He delivers the message, but Colonel Mackenzie is skeptical and irritated. He doesn't like the idea of delaying an offensive. But after reading the letter and confirming the orders, he reluctantly calls off the attack, just moments before thousands of men would have been slaughtered. After being informed that Lieutenant Blake was in the initial wave of attackers, Schofield searches among the injured for him and finds him. Joseph is devastated to learn that his brother has passed away, but he is grateful to Schofield for all of his efforts. Schofield gives Joseph the ring and dog tag that belonged to his brother Tom. He then asks Joseph to write to their mother about Tom's bravery, and Lieutenant Blake agrees to do so. Schofield walks away and finds a tree in an open field. He pulls out 2 photographs of his wife and daughters. For the first time since the journey began, he sits down and rests. I hope you enjoyed our video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to our channel.